I am upset. They've been away for 1 month and I come back and you've got an 8-minute and 56-second episode. I mean, already before I even start this, I'm a little bit upset. You had a whole month to prepare for this and you're giving us an 8-minute and 56-second episode, Cloud Imperium. I know. I can hear it now. I can hear the mob yelling. I can hear the torches lighting. I can see the pitchfork gleaming in the torchlight. I can feel it. I don't care. I'm going to say it like it is. 8 minutes and 56 seconds. You should be ashamed. I don't care that you've got CitizenCon on the horizon. I don't care that you're busy as all hell. I know you guys got some busyness going on over there, but put some time into production. You come back with a small breeze. No, you should come back like a hurricane, like a professional. Hashtag professional up in this. You understand what I'm saying? Just looking at this from a business perspective. You don't want to come in like a minnow. You want to come back like a shark. Like a bloodthirsty shark. That's how you need to come back. Not with an 8-minute and 56-second video. Some people might be saying, DG, you're talking too much right now. You're raging before the video even starts. You don't even understand what is the content. You don't understand what's in here, DG. Oh, I don't need to right now. Right now, I just see 8 minutes and 56 seconds. Welcome, Bomb. Welcome to the stream. I'm coming back with a vengeance. We've been gone for a month on the Inside Star Citizen review, and I'm telling people right now, Fossil Bomb, the 8 minutes and 56 seconds is like a small sigh before you die. It's like listening to that last gasping breath. How dare they come back with an 8-minute and 56-second episode? I can smell subscribers just dropping from the channel. People that know me, people that stick with me, the people that are fans of myself and the community and the games, they understand. They're sticking around. They agree. They understand what I'm saying. You don't come back with your candle being this small with the flame poofing out. You come back with a flamethrower. At 8 minutes and 56 seconds. I almost don't want to push the play button. I see 8 minutes and 56 seconds. Give me a second to just collect myself here. All right. Vital says, I just want galactic gear back. I hear you, Vitals. I hear you. Fossil Bomb says, maybe put it at 0.5 speed. You know, and there is a purpose of this long-windedness of myself, because I want to give you guys entertainment. I want to give you guys my opinion. We'll take an 8-minute and 56-second show and we'll stretch it out past 20 minutes, because some people, they like to sit down, they like to listen, they like to be entertained, they like to have a good time. Sometimes they don't want the little 2-minute summation. Sometimes people want to come in, they want to be entertained. They want to sit back, they want to see what somebody has to say. Some opinions, some real talk. Fucking 8 minutes and some odd seconds. How dare you? How dare you, Cloud Imperium, come to us 8 minutes and 56 some odd seconds. Dark Angel Gaming says, we need 20 minutes or more. Less than 9 minutes, not long enough to make the old lady happy. Let me go. Come on. You see that, Jared? Dark Angel Gaming. Also concurring with my synopsis. Dark Angel Gaming doesn't like it when it's less than, you know, like at least give us like an 11 or a 12-minute episode. You failed. That's right. Vitals is right. You failed the 10-minute guideline of the algorithm, says Vitals. God, you can't even get the algorithm right. Come on. Come on, Cloud Imperium. You're trying to like get people to buy ships? Huh? Longest intro ever. I'm telling you right now, this is the longest intro to any Inside Star Citizen review that we have ever had, and I'm proud of it. I'm going to keep stretching it out. The frustrations of the fam are real. And this just needs to be talked about before we get they better blow my mind with content on this episode, or I will be so negative on this that I'm gonna lose so much support. I don't even care. I love you guys. The fam's going to stick with me no matter what. Dark Angel says, maybe Sandy spent all their video money on fake tats for a new role. Oh, shit. That's hitting a little personal. I'm not going to go there. Sorry, Dark Angel, but it was Dark Angel hitting harder than I ever could with that comment. I got to give props to Dark Angel on that one. I wasn't going there, but Dark Angel took it to a whole nother level. Congratulations, Dark Angel, to you. Congratulations. I'm going to just take a pause on that comment right there. Whew. He might be right. He might be right. You know, times like these, I start to feel like maybe it's just not worth pushing the play button. This might be the first Inside Star Citizen review where I don't even touch the play button. This might be the longest drawn out intro that we've ever had on Inside Star Citizen review here. I'm sure that many people have stopped watching this video at this point. And, you know, frankly, I'm not worried about it because I'm speaking my mind. And I'm telling you just how upset I am. And I hope not only just the people here, Vitals, not only the fam here watching live, but when I push this out to my YouTube channel, I want people to understand. You know, comment down below what you think. I'm sure I'm going to get a couple like, DGs, you're talking too much in the intro. DG, you're too negative in the intro. What are you thinking, DG? How dare you? This is what I do. This is how I do it. If you hear noise, apologies. Devin's upstairs chilling out, watching some Gotham. But Dark Angel saying, love your honesty, DG. Vital saying, I'll go to watch it twice. Hashtag YouTube. Hashtag YouTube life forever. I don't know what to think. Let's start it up, guys. Let's start it up. It better blow my mind. Brains better be splattering on my screen on this
stations. Stepping stone.
By the way, congratulations to Jared. Let me just say right from the start, this guy is focused on losing weight, and congratulations. I'm trying to do the same thing. He did it once before. Hopefully he keeps it off this time. But Jared, let me tell you, bravo, dude. Now, if you just put a little bit more focus, if you put the same focus that you are into trying to lose your weight, Jared, that you do into the show, we'd have probably at least a 20-minute show. You understand, Jared? Thanks.
And humanity's journey through the stars, where you can repair and refuel ships and characters alike. One of the aims of Star Citizen is to fill planetary systems with a variety of stations for you to explore.
His voice sounds completely different. With all that weight loss, like his voice actually went up at least half of an octave. Interesting.
And through our recent staggered development initiative, members of our environment art team have been working through the last quarter to develop a variety of options for the upcoming Alpha 3.8 that aim to bring an exciting array of modular space station interiors to life.
Modular space station interiors. Okay. You're piquing my interest right now, Jared. Although this face that I'm looking at, that's just going to tell me that's not so excited. It looks like you're just going through the motions with that face. With that face, he's just looking, hey, Pirate, welcome to the stream, bro. We're live doing our Inside Star Citizen review, and I would say that, you know, that face kind of catches the feeling that I'm feeling with this particular episode, where Jared's basically looking like he doesn't give two flying Fs, and he's going through the motions. So I'm very upset about that as well, that I caught Jared at a time like this. Let's see.
We brought the new stations series in for 3.6.
That looked pretty good. That looked pretty good.
And we obviously wanted some new interiors to match those. One of the big challenges with working procedurally is that you deal with libraries of things like rooms and libraries of props that are all separate from one another and then get pieced together. And what often happens during development is that you don't see a final.
I don't know, man. The vocal fry. Vocal fry. I like when I make the interiors. No, come on.
Until quite late.
I understand. Some people saying right now, DJ, you're being awfully negative right now. No, I'm just picking up some things. We need some hashtag professionalism up in this stream.
Makes producers and directors a little bit nervous because they're not sort of seeing an end result till reasonably late. But when it is all set up, when all those filters and rules are all worked out.
Whoa, okay, that looks good. I'm trying to get past this vocal fry that this guy has, the vocal fry. But I'm telling you right now, that's looking pretty good inside. If he designed this, I give this guy at least a B+ on the interiors right now. The interiors make the whole insides of the stations looking pretty nice.
out. The end result is like a much more expansive set of layouts all the way through the development.
Yeah, maybe we're going to find out if we can actually fuel our ships at the truck stops at the stations. That would be nice.
What the new stations give us now that the existing stations didn't is scale, but also variation between the stations as well. So generally, every station you went into felt the same. Now we'll have things where the elevator room sometimes...
Oh, that was cool. What was the name of that shop? Let me go back there real quick. Hold on. There was a name of a shop right there I wanted to look at. It looked like a new shop.
What the new stations give us now that the existing stations didn't.
Okay, yeah, Pirate's bringing up a really good point right now. This looks very mallish, which, you know, with a truck stop, you ever hit a rest stop off the highway? Anytime you hit a rest stop off the highway, it does kind of look mallish. So that's kind of interesting that literally 900 years in the future, we're still mimicking that same that same mall concept with our rest stops. What's up, Donnie? How you doing, dude? Donnie, I'm glad you missed the first part of the stream. Donnie, I can disclose here that Donnie is actually a developer. We're keeping it on the down low right now, but he is a developer at Cloud Imperium. Sorry, Donnie. I had to let that out. We'll keep it right here, bro. But Donnie, I'm glad you actually missed the beginning of the stream because I completely went off because this episode is 8 minutes and 56 seconds. Can you please tell Jared that I'm glad? Donnie's like, please don't eat me. Can you please tell Jared for me, Donnie, that he's looking good? I'm glad he's losing the weight. But when you come back after a month of time being off, hit us up with some fire. Hit us up with at least like a 12-minute episode, like the 8 minutes and 56 episode. Before I even pushed play, Donnie, I gotta admit to you, man, I was a little bit upset at the length, but I'm liking the content so far. I'm liking the insides. I'm liking the truck stops. We were just saying it felt like a mall. Hey, Brixie, good to see you, bro.
Scale, but also variation between the stations as well. So generally, every
that's it. Noodle House. That actually looks like the inside of the Delamar area in their bar, like with those little pagodas and the hanging lights. Lack of length, you mean, right? Yes. That's what she said, Donnie. The Noodle House. That's pretty cool.
Into felt the same. Now we'll have things where the elevator rooms sometimes come off the hub, sometimes come off the view room. There'll be a food court in some of the stations. There won't be a food court in others. Where shops are, what rooms are used, what adverts are used, all vary between them quite a lot now. So players should be looking forward to just a different experience per station now. They will all fall within the same category of rest and relax, sort of utilitarian art style. So they're not.
I like the light fixtures up top. Those light fixtures coming from Lorville and the space station and the
there are
spaceport Tesla.
Differences between them for the experience.
Yes, I like it. Much more roomy. You're right, Bricks. Yeah. Ooh, check that out. Look at that view out that big bay window area. Very Port Olisar looking. I like it.
Of course, variations to existing rooms and features are certainly cool. But if you're anything like me, and I'm sorry if you are, you probably get irrational.
Bravo for that joke, Jared. I like the joke.
By a good food court. Yes, I'm a simple man.
Any type of self deprivation joke is well met with me. Good humor on that one, Jared. Bravo.
Man that likes to go to one place and get a dozen different food options. And Alpha 3.8 is introducing these marvels of culinary convenience to Star citizens across the Stanton system. Let's get Eddie back in the chair to show us more.
Okay, and then we have to ask about the effects of food, about the direct correlation between food and your character in game. These are great questions to start asking developers as far as like, how much will these foods have an effect towards us in game? We know that we'll have some types of buffs with some of the foods and some types of negative effects with the alcohols and the drugs in the game. And the foods will give us some types of buffs. Will we need more than that? We don't know. Like right now, I can say almost 100% no. Like right now, the food itself is not a necessity. It is not something that we need to keep us alive. There are no survival based mechanics on that. It makes me wonder, it makes me question about food in itself as far as it being needed economically, being the fact that the algorithm is going to place value on these foods. It also makes me wonder about any type of player-driven mechanics involved with valuation on food. I think food, like the other items currently in the 3.7.1, all based upon right now devs plugging in values on these. We're at the ground level of the economy, and it is like Booch is saying right now, just window dressing. I want this to evolve. It's nice that we're seeing this enter. Let's watch.
So here is an example of what you'd see if you just brought the food court prefab in on its own without the procedural tool having done anything to it. And as you can see, there's none or very little lighting on the basic food court. So I'm just going to stick a debug mode on just so you can see what's happening here. And this is an example of the base food court. You'll notice there's a lot of stuff sort of missing, including a ceiling in this. And then there's all these 12-meter holes all the way around the walls that basically allow for different things to connect to them. Once it's connected, a sort of transitionary point, an entrance into the food court, it'll start populating the rest of these slots with other things. But before that happens, we have the overlays come in. Now I'm going to flip back to sort of the rendered mode here and bring in the first overlay. So you'll be seeing one of two every time you come to a food court, one of which is a sort of blue theme. And you can see with the overlay, the ceiling has been filled in and some extra adverts, and the blue has come in. What you're not seeing here in this is any extra prop placement, because that gets brought procedurally in by the tool afterwards. So we'll pick an overlay. We'll go with the purple one for now. And on top of that, then, once the entrance has been established, the shops start coming in, and I'll turn those on now. Any of these shops can spawn in any of these holes. So it's that kind of sort of directed randomness that we really have been striving for with all the rest stops, and that we don't want it completely random in that there's a closed shop in the food court, or it's completely random in terms of where it puts a noodle bar off the elevator room, do you know what I mean? But there is a
Wow, check that ceiling out. Look at the lighting in here. Pretty much dig this. We're going to be talking about ray tracing at some point. They're doing the best they can with the lighting, the actual lighting tech that they have. There are moments where I'm really into the lighting, where I'm seeing it here and in caves. And there's moments where, like with the lighting, I'm kind of not so happy when I'm in a ship and I see my MFDs have some really bad glitching effects with the sunlight coming in through the cockpit. So there's instances where I'm in love with the lighting. There's instances where I'm not so hip with the lighting. Ray tracing is something we're going to talk about down the road. A lot of people going, oh God, how dare you talk about it now? But it is important because we are in the development stage, and it's better to kind of talk about these things now than after the fact, because sometimes what ends up happening is it's much harder to put it in post than it is while it's happening. So it is something that we should be talking about as a community. Those people that love Star Citizen, those people that are involved in Star Citizen, it is something that should be on people's minds and be a voice out there. In fact, the interview with Brian Chambers, he was saying that, I will think more about ray tracing the more that people speak up and want ray tracing in the game. That's why it's important that we actually speak up as a community, as citizens, and start talking about ray tracing and how important it's going to be, because as we know, the FPS drop is an inevitability, but I think as the technology, evolves, what we're going to eventually find is that, it would be a good discussion to have now. The ray tracing would have a great talk right now. Brian Chambers is so zen, he glows in the dark. I love Brian Chambers. Brian Chambers is one of my favorite people. Tony Z, another. These guys really putting in a lot of work for Cloud Imperium and Star Citizen. And but yeah, this lighting in this mall, the mall. I said mall because it has that mall look, and it is cool that these rest stops mimic like a mall kind of feel to it. I like it. But getting back to the food conversation, we'll talk about that after this. We'll talk about that after this.
Sort of directing it so that we get things that are sort of appropriate to the location in the
I know, dude.
But also have a certain element of randomness as well.
It's so really nice.
What I'll switch back to now is the
very expansive
layout, which obviously has a few more sort of prop placement stuff in, and it's just a little more fleshed out. Particularly, let's talk about the shops, because I think the shops are a big sort of change. We wanted shops to have a very much of an open feel to them. Before it was quite restricted because every shop had a door on it, which obviously led to quite a sort of a straight viewport straight along a wall. What we decided to do with all the shops, in particular sort of stuff like the pizza joint here, is spill that stuff out onto the concourse, which as you're walking along gives a much more curb appeal, in that we want people to be attracted into them. That's the whole point of a shop. So having
And the whole point of the shop should also, since these are food type industry businesses, there should be some point to getting the food. And that is another issue that needs to be discussed within the community and in Cloud Imperium as well. Like, if we are going to have so many areas dedicated towards food, we also have to have the discussion of like, why as players, why as gamers, do we want the food? If it is merely window dressing, if it has no other use than maybe giving you a buff, if there's a buff with the food, I can imagine people going in buying food for the buffs. I get that, where you're helping out your overall performances. I get it. But if we really want to see like a use for these shops that are food related, there also has to be an urgency or a need or a demand that speaks to us as a gamer, saying, oh shit, I better buy a slice of pizza. And that's something that needs to be discussed and should be a great long discussion, because then we do touch on survival based mechanics. And a lot of people go, oh, I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. We do that here all the time.
A doorway kind of prohibits that a little bit. So a lot of our shops now sort of spill out a little more.
I see you, Fassel.
So I think what these new food courts, what the new rest stop interiors in general give us is a really good basis for expanding out later. You can see they're easily sort of 4 times larger than the current rest stops now. And I'm really looking forward to get them into the hands of the backers and into the hands of the players.
Last quarter, we showed you work done by the UI tech team and their new Building Blocks initiative, which aims to put more power into the hands of system designers everywhere to create functional UI elements that taste great and are less filling. And our vehicle features team have been using these tools to create a new array of annunciator panels for ships that aim to help pilots everywhere better understand what's happening inside their spaceships.
Okay, we talked about this actually.
The annunciator panels were actually built using our
We talked about the annunciator panels. We talked about we wanting to have more functionality out of them. So this is great that they're actually discussing this in this episode.
our new technology, which is building blocks. We wanted to give a little more information inside of the ship cockpits. This is going to facilitate the way that we actually do UI in-game. This brings us multiple benefits for faster prototyping. So we could get annunciator panels actually faster just because we can go in, do some changes, see it directly in the game, and have it the way we want it to look. So the annunciator panel actually touches a lot of systems. We're going to show in the panel information about heat. We're going to display power, weapon, and thruster heat. We're going to display information about low power produced by the power plants. We're going to show the status of the shields. Also going to warn the player about proximity warnings, tell the player if their quantum actually failed. During
Compass still needed. Thank you, Brixie, for bringing that up. Absolutely, 110% compass in the display here. Compass in your helmet, your heads-up display. Everywhere a compass can be put. This needs to happen. There's a lot of talk in the community about the coding involved to put a compass to every single planet and moon within the game would be slightly difficult. They're talking about how they want to set the code to the center of a planet or the center of a moon, and then line them north and south, true north, to outer planetary markers possibly. There's a lot of talk right now. There's nothing definitive on it, but compasses are something that's very needed in the game. We watched an episode about 2 months ago where we mentioned in Star Citizen Live, one of the questions, and like Brix is saying, is the compass. And one of the developers had kind of And I'm not quite sure, but it seemed to me like it was something that he thought was not important, because he kind of said, oh, compasses, like he kind of was like, kind of scoffed almost. But, the thing is like we have to voice up to let them know what is important to us as gamers. And obviously a map or some type of directional component like a compass is very, very important. These annunciator panels, interesting to me because they're showing us the most important things that are happening to your ship. I like it. I like this. I actually like the fact that they're working on this. Hey, Damon, what's going on, bro?
Combat, if there's someone targeting us, or if there's a missile on their way, or if the ship just has some kind of malfunction and a cooler is failing, for example. One of the biggest challenges was to gather all of this information, make it visually appealing and easy for the players to actually identify these issues and have a nice way to represent it on the cockpit. So annunciator panels are going to be available in a few ships. We're looking to update the ships that have spaces for annunciators which haven't been implemented yet, and we're going to add that feature in for free 8.
So that's really interesting, because what's ended up going to happen is a redesign in the cockpits of a lot of the ships, where the annunciator panel is going to be a larger part of the surroundings inside of your ship. So they're going to have to be doing a lot of redesigning on the ships that are currently out in regards to the annunciator panels. This might be a big deal. It looks like they've got work. We were watching the Gladius. There's going to be a million other ships that they're going to have to be putting this into. So there's going to have to be a lot of work. Dark Angel's like, Jared is sticking his tongue out at us. Sorry about that.
That's it for this week's show. With only 4 weeks to go before CitizenCon, our biggest showcase of the year, we're going to spend the next couple episodes dancing between the raindrops, as they say, to see what we can bring you without spoiling any of the surprises in store. But
yeah, I mean, like the timing as far as like Star Citizen reviews, our Inside Star Citizen's coming out, and CitizenCon, we're going to have this kind of, I think what we're going to end up seeing the next couple Inside Star Citizen shows is me getting irate like I did at the beginning of this. Yes, exactly, Damon. Lots of salt. Like at the very beginning of this episode, when I saw that it was 8 minutes and 50 some odd seconds long, I was very upset. You're gone for a month. You come back with a very short episode. So for these next couple Inside Star Citizens, you guys are going to have to bear witness. You guys are going to have to testify and realize that I am going to be upset, because they are not going to be putting out a lot of information that I want. And, this dancing in the rain type thing that Jared is saying is something where I'm kind of thinking like, well, what is the point of bringing the show back right before CitizenCon? Maybe scheduling wise, maybe the way they should manage this is that they bring out the Inside Star Citizen shows after the fact that CitizenCon is released. They should have kind of adjusted for this. They should have planned this better. And, that is a valid criticism. That is constructive criticism for Cloud Imperium. If you're going to have a show that's going to release information that is happening inside Star Citizen, and you're telling me that you have to dance around the rain, leading up to CitizenCon, then, I have to say why. Like, why are we scheduling it like this? I'm glad I got the information that I did with the interiors of the stations. The content was decent. We got some annunciator panel information. We got some inside the station views. But all in all, I'd have to question I'd have to question why we're going to bring back Inside Star Citizen like a couple weeks before CitizenCon, when in fact the very creator of this is saying, hey, we're going to have to dance around and make sure that we're giving you just a touch, but not enough to give away the stuff that's in CitizenCon. I think the scheduling should have been slightly different. So the Inside the Star Citizen was gone 4 weeks prior to CitizenCon, and then come back after the fact of CitizenCon. So anyway, if you haven't seen it yet, there is a great video we put out here where we discussed the scheduling of CitizenCon 2949 coming up. We're very excited about CitizenCon 2949. And we discussed that earlier on stream. I put that out as a video for you guys. We discussed in detail some of the things that we wanted to cover. And I'm really excited for CitizenCon. I really am. There's a lot of people waiting in anticipation for everything, and we discussed that on the YouTube channel. I highly recommend you guys check that out. For those of you who don't know, I will put that there so that you can go to my YouTube channel and subscribe and check that out, and check out some of the Star Citizen content there. And it was a really good time I had with everybody on stream today. Just a few hours ago, we were talking about this. So it's nice to have a follow-up with our Inside Star Citizen review. It's good to have the Inside Star Citizen review back. And thanks, guys, for chilling out with me here, even though I was a little salty today. I have to admit, I was a bit salty today. But I had a great time with you guys, and I love watching these with you guys. And I'm glad that the show is back, and I'm glad that we can chill out here and watch it together. It was great to see the fam here putting their opinions, putting their voice down here for everybody to watch on our YouTube channel. It was great to have you guys here. It was great to chill out with you guys. As usual, I'm telling you guys, it's always a good time. Thanks so much for joining me here. And, keep posted, because we're having a Loot and Scoot giveaway coming up this weekend.